welcome back. We want to thank y'all for joining us on the second part of the show. As we finish our recording for the last two games of the day. We already did the previous first 2 days, and now today is Tuesday. Few days before Thanksgiving, we're going to finish up the second half of the game. This game we're going to get in first is Untouchables versus DG. All right, so these two teams met in the regular season. But before we get to that, I'm going to talk about Untouchables is coming off of beating Primetime in the wild card game, which we went through already. Pretty handily. Game wasn't close. They seemed like they was preparing themselves for this DG game, and DG's coming off a bye. Now, these two teams, Untouchables and DG, played each other in the regular season. DG was able to win that game 29-22, as Chuck was able to throw 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Corey threw 3 touchdowns. Now, the interception Chuck threw, the game was pretty much over. He was pretty much just throwing the ball in order for, not to give Untouchables time left. So it wasn't really a big interception. It was just one of those, he just threw the ball downfield. But that game was kind of close, as Chuck was able to find track start for a touchdown to take a more commanding lead. Untouchables got the ball back. Corey drove the field, tried to hit Sherman in front of the end zone. Ball came up short in the front of the end zone. And as DG got the ball back, they ran the Carver play against Alvaro, who knows the play, where they hit the middle. Chuck was able to run for the first down, then continuously kill the clock and threw the pick to end the game. These two quarterbacks had great seasons, both up there for MVP. As Chuck came in this season, 27 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 11 times sack. Corey came in the league, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 9 times sack. Lou, coming into this game, what did you expect to see, being that the game was so close the first time?
A shootout, basically, especially with Chuck throwing a 27 and Untouchables defense being a little shaky.
Shaky, that 9th overall, the second of last defense. Only team that have a worse defense than them is Don't Sleep.
Listen, like I said before, numbers don't always tell the whole story.
21.8 points a game. They gave up 29 points when they ran them in the regular season.
Numbers are numbers. Yeah, you're right. You got me again.
Ghost, do you think Untouchables will be able to do something different, being that Chuck put 29 points on them the first time?
They're going to have to, because if their defense is not able to slow them down in any way, shape, or form, it's all she wrote for them. They've been struggling with their defense all season, and I don't think that DG is going to wait till the playoffs to fall apart. So they have to make it happen on defense. They have to make plays. They have to find a way to lock up on these receivers, and more importantly, they have to find a way to pressure Chuck. That's a tall order to ask for, with Chulo blocking for him and protecting him. But they got to find a way to rush Chuck, force him to make some throws, and be able to make those plays early. If not, keep Chuck in his comfort zone, and he's going to throw them apart in this game.
Lou, how important would you say Ricky has been to this Untouchables offense as a blocker?
He's been, just think about it. You said Corey has been sacked how many times?
9.
9. He's a heck of a blocker. I would say it would have been 90 times if he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? He's a very valuable commodity on both sides of the ball. You know what I'm saying? He brings the pressure at linebacker.
Yeah.
And then he's a heck of a blocker. Low to the ground, and he has that equipment mentality when it comes to the game.
All right, we just gave y'all the tails of the tape. DG's coming in with the #1 offense in the league, averaging 23.7 points a game, as Untouchables coming with the #2 offense in the league, averaging 22.5 points a game. The only difference is DG's defense is #5 overall, only giving up 17.1 points a game. And Untouchables coming with the 9th worst defense in the league, giving up 21.8. But this is the weird part. Untouchables are tied for first in interceptions, and they're 4th in sacks. They're 4th in the league in sacks, 1st in interceptions. but they have the second worst defense in the league. So
That's
to me,
crazy.
they take more chances, which is why they give up points. They bring pressure, but they take chances. It's all or nothing with this defense. And a lot of times they got beat. As DG, even though they have a top 5 defense, they're 9th in interceptions and 8th in sacks. So they're more focused on stopping the teams from scoring than actually trying to force turnovers. Now, DG come in with their first round draft pick, Chuck, their second round draft pick in Slutty. And on the other side, Untouchables coming with their first round draft pick, Corey, their second round draft pick, BG, and their third round draft pick via trade in Slasher. So we're going to jump right into the game and see what happens. Untouchables get the ball first. Third down after 2 short passes. Corey on 4 rush throws to PJ, who has a step on Bones on the sideline. Nice game, first down. Lou, you talked about this a lot this season, talking about you're uncomfortable with Bones playing in the secondary. DG looked like they put him back there. And PJ, who's the guy that doesn't get enough credit on his team, he makes him pay here.
And look, you got to give it to Bones because he's stepping in because they need him. You know what I'm saying? But he's not a defender for the most part. Could cost him.
Corey on 4 rush throws the Slasher on the sideline with a block from Buck and missed tag by Tracksaw. Slasher runs it in to the end zone for the touchdown. Derek gets the 2-point conversion. 8-0. Untouchables score first. Ghost, the question was this a tag? Tell me what you think.
First of all, that was a great block by Buck right there on the run here. And I want to freeze frame plays like this. If you look at this play here, this is a block on Bones. I believe this is a block on Bones by Buck. Bones is trying to get around the block. It looks like here a block in the back is being made, but he starts on the block before Bones turns. So it's not necessarily a block in the back that was already engaged.
He
and
turned
that's why
into
it looks the way it does. So that's why I wanted to explain that in case anybody looks at the footage and says, oh, they missed the call here. But with that said, Trackstar misses Slasher on the run into the end zone. He just misses him. He gets there a second late, and because of that, Slasher's able to get by using a block by Buck and get into the end zone. Way to start a play early. And one thing about these guys is with the pitch play, with the after the
from the IOD days.
Yes, with the pitch play, the blocking, and the after the catch yardage that they get, they are a dangerous team on offense, and they're able to score right away on their first attempt.
Ghost Slash has been very important to the team this season. That trade looked like we thought it was like a homeboy trade, but Slash has been a very important part of this Untouchables team. So we looked at he brought value in that trade. And you got to give Alvaro credit for that. A lot of people thought he was doing it based on friendship. He came over to be very important to this team. Chuck, after getting the first down, throws a Slutty in the middle for a decent gain. Second down, Chuck throws a Jalen cutting in the gap, get him to the 8-yard line. But DG's blocked for a block in the back. What do you think of the call, Ghost?
And I think that this is another block where it's on the side. I don't think that this was an actual block in the back, but it's close enough that that's what the ref saw. And unfortunately for DG, I think that they get that flag. It's a close one, but they have to deal with it in the end.
Third down, Chuck on 4 rush, throws of Bones in the back of the end zone, makes a catch with contact from Buck. Touchdown is called, but UBT will challenge the play. Tell me what you think of it. They challenge the play. What do you think?
If you look at this play, it looks like Bones has control of the ball, but with that more than adequate contact by Buck, eventually the ball comes out. It looks like this was a catch, and the contact after the catch is made is what makes the ball come out after the catch is established. So not enough to overturn the play, but the thing I want to talk about is look at how much contact that's made on this play by Buck. First of all, as the ball is in the air, he's already holding him. There's already contact before, but Bones is able to even go up and get that ball. So that's one. Two, as he makes the catch, this is pretty much a tackle by Buck. I don't know why there's no flag thrown on this play. This is way too much contact on this play, and I think that's the only reason why the ball came out in the first place. Buck was beat on this play, so there's no reason for there to be so much contact without a flag being thrown, but Bones is able to hold on just enough to make that touchdown catch, I think that was a good call in the end.
Lou, I think the officials kind of letting them play because this is such a big game, but the flag has to be thrown here. You have to get a little more order in the game. Myself being one of the officials, included the rep Jay Brown, we have to get more involved in this because this was a touchdown. And I think Untouchables feel in order to beat DG, you got to get a little physical with them, especially Bones, who doesn't have a lot of weight on him. So I think we got to pay attention to this for the rest of the game, but it's very important that DG scored right back and got the 2-point conversion with Randy. What do you think about the score?
Hey, it's already looking like a shootout. You know, they both scored their first 2 possessions. And the thing with Bones is this, you got to remember, Bones could take a hit. He played college ball. It's not like, he might be skinny. You know what I'm saying? You would think he can't, but of course, you have to try to knock that ball out. You remember how we would talk about with Leo, how Leo was just jumping over people and nobody was hitting him. So here they tried and the ball came out, even though, like Go said, he established a catch.
All right, so the Untouchables are gonna lose that challenge, so they have 1 challenge left in the game. Corey gets the ball back. With blocking from Ricky, throws deep to Sherm, open in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 14-8, Untouchables take the lead. Sherman catches Randy with the delayed route. Ghost, I already called Sherm Tyreek Hill. The guy's speed is unbelievable. And if Sherm would be a little more consistent on these deep routes, meaning take them more, he could be one of the top 5 offensive players in the league. They go after Randy, a former defensive player of the year. And Corby goes right after him. Great time by Ricky. All these things needed to happen in order for them to get this play, and he scored right back.
And the thing about this is, if you look at this route right here, Randy sees it way too late. I don't think he expected Sherm to just burst out the gap like the way he did. But Sherm is fast enough that he could take off on a dime. So you got to be ready. You got to be ready for that. And Randy, yes, he has speed for his size, but there's no way once Sherm goes full speed, he's catching him. By the time Randy reacts, Sherm is already down the field already. So this is a good play that was anticipated for him to beat Randy downfield and wait for Corey to be able to see that and able to hit him right when he sees him for the touchdown right back.
Jay, he was barbecue chicken on that play.
Oh, barbecue chicken with a 6-piece of touchdown.
Bruh, he was at least 10 feet away from him.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine a nightmare when you see you matched up against Sherm?
Oh.
And it's different in EHS because UFL field is much longer. So now you know you don't have no shot without some type of help. So we got 14-8. Untouchable score right back. 3rd down at the 48-yard line. Chuck on 4 rush throws a short to Slutty in the gap, who runs for a nice gain and the 1st down. All right, Chuck gets the ball. He's going to throw deep to Bones in the front of the end zone, caught but out of bounds. 2nd down, Chuck with blocker from Chulo. Those are Bones on the sideline. That's going to be dropped. DG can't move the ball anymore, and they're forced to punt. That is a big stop by a defense that isn't known for stopping people. So, Lou, you got to admit, for Untouchables to score and then get a stop, forcing DG to punt, that is a huge possession on that defense to make this, make Chuck get the ball up.
You know they're feeling good. You know what I'm saying? And this is the 2nd time that you can say that their defense has played well going into, in the 1st half.
Right.
So it should be encouraging for them.
That's true. All right. They're up 14-8. 2nd down, Corey on 4 rush throws to Ricky in the gap, but Rob gets his hand on the ball. If you look here, Juju never turns around. He would have been open, which kind of messed up the whole route. If you look, Ricky and Corey are talking, which is great because that two have been a 1-2 punch, and they got to understand what they're doing, but that's a big missed opportunity there. 3rd down, Corey on 4 rush throws a buck on the sideline, who runs for a decent gain. DG challenged if Corey was sacked by Chris before the throw. Ghost, tell me about that play.
And it looks like as he rushed in, you can clearly see before the ball is thrown that he does not get 2 hands on Chuck. two hands on Corey. They argued saying that, oh, they missed the call or whatever. But if you look, it doesn't look like he really goes after him on the tag. It looks like he goes like to brace himself as he rushes in. So he misses the tag before Corey makes the throw. And that's why they didn't get the call there. And I think that I get the challenge, but they did not make the tag on that play. That was just some big yardage there and a missed opportunity by the defense.
So this is the funny part, Lou. DG loses the timeout because for the challenge. Pam said, "I'm calling a timeout before I can challenge." You call the timeout for challenge. Untouchables got mad saying that he used 2 timeouts, which makes no sense. You know how a team calls timeout, but they get a first down, and we grant the team the timeout back. Because you get caught up in the game, and it's stuff that other leagues don't do, and we say, listen, if you call timeout, we'll give you the timeout back, regardless of what. This was pretty much the same thing. We knew he was challenging, but he said it wrong. But we didn't sit down and have to really get on what he's doing. We knew what he meant. He meant, I'm calling a timeout to challenge. So he just said it backwards. But the guys went crazy, and this is been the issue all day. We're causing too much chaos rather than just play the game. We knew, obviously, he's not going to call a timeout, then wait, then challenge. We knew what he meant. All the officials knew what he meant. And they started an argument saying, oh, he called timeout. Now, if he wants to challenge it, it didn't make any sense. And I think we get too caught up in the little nonsense rather than focusing on the game. Your thoughts on that, Lou?
Well, I kind of don't blame them, only because, you know, you figure you're at an advantage if they lose a timeout. You know what I'm saying?
They're going to lose it anyway.
You're right on that point, as far as, you know what he meant. But I guess you're trying to be slick. And
that's the problem. That's not football.
And that took a lot of time to figure all of that out.
And the thing about it is, first of all, that's technically like calling 2 timeouts to do one thing. And it isn't, and that's I think that the argument was that they felt like the officials are giving Pam's leeway because he's Pam's. And that's something that I don't like, the assumed bias. That's the issue that I have. This would have been given back to any team. It doesn't matter who it is, because we do it on the first down when they call timeout. It doesn't matter what team
they all do it. They all call timeout.
We get what the situation is, and that's why we always give the timeout back, because we know that the timeout that's awarded for the first down is automatic. So we're not going to take a timeout from you because it's unnecessary. We already get what's going on. The game is running. People say stuff they don't really mean, but we get it. And that's why they didn't take a timeout after knowing that he challenged. And he said in the same sentence, I'm calling timeout to challenge the play. You know? So you get the whole point. It's just, for some reason, Pam said it all weird because he didn't know what to do at that time. But he ends up challenging it.
Yeah, because he wasn't sure if he was going to challenge. That's what it was. He was kind of, am I going to challenge? And Untouchables was coming to the line fast, if I recall.
Listen.
And that's why he said it that way. So regardless of what, we were going to look at.
Listen, the same way that it took so long to get through that play is the same way we're taking so long talking about this, even though it should be a no-brainer in the end.
Correct. And what happens? They challenge it, it stands, right? That was third down. They killed their whole momentum arguing over that. And fourth down, Corey on 4 rush, throws the buck in the gap, off target, incomplete. They couldn't even get a first down.
Yeah.
And I think because of the fact that they were arguing about the fact that he wanted to time out, rather than say, we know he's going to challenge, let's huddle up, let's get our play that we're going to go for to get the first down. Remember, you just scored and stopped DG. You want to take a 2-score lead, and Lou, right here, they're not even able to get the first down, and they give Chuck back the ball.
And the thing is, instead of you worrying about scoring, you worrying about a stupid timeout or not timeout. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you killed your momentum. For what?
I don't know. I was confused. Like, you know what they talking about? The league will do it for everybody. Do everybody the same. But unfortunately, they turn over the ball, giving it back to Chuck after they just stopped Chuck. Third down after 2 passes, Chuck is blitzed by Ricky. Blocked by Chulo. Chuck throws the Bones in the back of the end zone. Out of bounds, incomplete. 4th down, Chuck on 4 rush, throws to West in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Ghost, they stop DG again. This UTB defense is looking great right now. They don't look like the other UTB that gave up all these points in the regular season. Your thoughts, Ghost?
And that's just playoffs. This is where the money is, pretty much. So they have no choice but to step up and make plays. They don't want to go home. No team wants to go home. So this is the biggest opportunity that you have to step up and make plays, and that's exactly what they're doing. Their offense was a little taken off by that whole argument about the flag and all of that stuff, but it seems like their defense is still able to focus and lock up on these receivers and give Chuck a hard time on from their defense, and it leads to them paying off with yet another stop here in this first half.
Untouchables can't score before the half, and that's going to take us into the half. 14-8 Untouchables.
Listen, my argument with UTB is with Untouchables is they're playing really good defense. Listen to the score. It's 14-8 and they have the lead. You know? You take advantage of that. You want to keep the momentum going. You don't take yourself out the game by arguing calls, this and that. And that's something that not only the coach is doing. I expect Adi to argue with the refs or whatever. That's his job. But when you have the players getting into that, getting in the ref's face, doing this, worrying about this, worrying about that, and then you're not catching the ball, you're not getting open, that hurts. Especially when you're leaving points on the field, when you're leaving drives on the field. That doesn't help when you have an opportunity to run away with this lead. They already have a lead. So they got to focus in the second half and make things happen and keep it in the game. Don't worry about the refs. Figure like they're against you regardless. Play your game. That's all they got to do. If they're able to do that and focus on the defense in the second half, they have a great shot to walk away with this win in this game.
Lou, DG went 1 for 3, Lou.
Hey, if I'm Untouchables, I'm going into the second half happy as happy can be.
They should.
You know what I'm saying? You gave up 8 points. 8 points to a good offense. You know, we've been getting on Untouchables about their lackluster defense. I'm being nice now. You know, better yet, crappy defense. And again, like Go said, this is playoffs. Now you're at a different level. Your defense is trying harder. Not like they haven't tried all season, which would be sad if they really did try. But anyway, you know, you're looking good going into the second half.
See, me, if I'm DG, I know I'm 1 for 3, but at the end of the day, I'm down to score.
A score, yep.
So because of the fact that that third possession, because we're not going to count the 4th possession, it wasn't a lot of time left, but it's still a stop, but they didn't score. But the third possession, for them not to pick up a first down, you can almost look at it and say that was the game. Because if they take a 3-score lead, that's a problem. But unfortunately, they don't. Remember, if they score and then they stop DG, that's huge. But unfortunately, they didn't score. So if I'm DG, I feel good because even though Untouchables played better than us in the first half, we're only down to score.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting the ball back the second half.
Yep.
We're jumping to the second half. Chuck getting the ball. Chuck with blocker from Randy is sacked by Juju. The question was, what's the sack? Now, before Goes talk, I'll talk about this one. Rep J missed this call. Juju missed the sack, but because the ref was distracted by Untouchables on the sideline, in UFL, you can call hike on 1. EHS, you cannot. UFL, you can call hike on 1. Chuck called hike on 1 to Untouchables was frustrated. They were so upset. My only issue with them is when you're playing a game, you have to have faith in somebody. I know a lot of times You say we us against the refs, us against the team. I get that. But you got to have faith in the officiating, especially when the official runs the lead. But they argue with Ref J so much the whole game. Now, this one helped them because he was distracted based on the back and forth on the sideline that Juju got credit for a sack that he technically missed. But it is what it is. I got to get better. Ref J got to get better. Got to make that call. He missed it, and Untouchables get the sack. Second down, Chuck is blitzed by Hove, who's blocked by Randy. Chuck throws a slutty, cutting in the gap for a nice gain and a first down. Now check this out, Lou. You just made a big sack. Nice play. And then you give up a big play. Hove tries to blitz Randy. Randy's too big for him. Slows him down. And Chuck is able to spine slutty. So now that sack means nothing because not only did Chuck get a first down, it was a big play on the loop.
Well, you know what it is? It could be that Untouchables remember that they have a crappy defense. You know what I'm saying? But it is big. The sack was useless. Well, they shouldn't have got it in the first place if Ref J was, had his glasses on or whatever,
Yep.
But still, it was called. The call was made. You should have, again, this is the second half. You up only one score against a QB that puts up points, who knows how to run the clock.
Number one in scoring.
Yeah.
Well, he hits him with this big play here. Then Chuck throws deep to Jalen in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Second down, Chuck is blitzed by Sherm, who's blocked by Chulo. Chuck throws deep to Randy in the gap. Caught in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. That is a great catch by Randy. Slutty gets the extra point. 15-14, DG takes the lead. If you look here, Hove switches to safety and gets beat. I don't like nothing about this play. First of all, you blitzed in Sherm. That's not what he does. If you're gonna blitz, I'm blitzing Ricky. Finding a way to blitz Ricky. Ricky would have been playing both sides of the ball this game. But they blitz Sherm, which kind of hurts their defense. Don't get me wrong. Sherm doesn't have the height, but he has the speed. So sometimes if he's in the vicinity, you don't really want to make the throw. But instead of that, having him somewhere in the secondary, they have Hove there. Hove is a good defender. Hove cannot run with Randy. Randy's a little faster than him. He beats us on this, and Chuck sees the matchup, likes the matchup, and goes downfield and finds him for the touchdown.
Well, you got to remember, Jay, Ruben, the blocker, right? You sending Sherman at him. It's basically like a bear swatting at a fly. You're not going to get past him. You're not going to, better yet, you're not going to muscle your way past him. And look what happens. It ends up costing you. I don't know who made that decision to send Sherman. Maybe they thought he was going to run under Ruben's legs. Who knows? But not wise.
All right. Get prepared because this is a big drive right here. On the kickoff, on the throw-off, Hove is called for cursing. 15 yards. They're going to start the ball at the 25-yard line. Second down, Corey throws the Sherm on the sideline for a decent gain. Juju is flagged for cursing after the incomplete pass on third down. So now Juju gets ejected. Huge ejection. He's the only actual safety that they have, and he gets ejected. Now, on the punt, DG has too many men on the field. So the flag comes out. Now, Untouchables decide they want to go for it. Right?
Yeah.
Fourth down, Corey on 4 versus throws the Sherm on the sideline. Slutty misses the tag. Sherm runs for a nice gain and a first down. Huge play. What's the tag, Ghost?
And I heard on the sideline, Pams was thinking about challenging the play, but he could not see enough for him to be confident enough to challenge the play. And that's one thing I respect about him. He's not going to just challenge if the play is close. If he does not feel confident in challenging it, he chooses not to. And that's one thing that I get. But if you look here, I think that was the right decision because it looks like Slutty misses him on this play here. And Sherm is fast enough to get by tags like this, and that's exactly what happens. This is crazy that they're able to take a shot like this for the first down when they're like 15 yards away. After getting that cursing flag or whatever, they were not as close as it may seem. And Sherm was able to run right down that sideline. Slutty was not able to get to him in time. He misses the tag, and Sherm is able to get the first down and some yardage. That is a huge play on 4th down to get the first.
All because DG had too many men on the field on the punt. All right, they get the first down. Corey throws the Sherm on the sideline for a short gain. That was first down. UBT says DG never announced a change of the giver, and it should have been 5 yards. Replayed it down. Ref got caught on this one. Previously, before this play, everybody was once again arguing. And if you looked on this play here, Rob came in as giver. Ghost marked it down. 4th down. When he gets the first down, Rob is still a giver, right?
Yeah.
After the first down, Rob is no longer the giver, but DG never announced the change of giver. Now, 25-yard penalty, replay first down, but it's still a penalty.
Yeah.
And the ref missed it in the chaos. Once again, that was my mistake. I got caught. It's not a huge play, but when I make a mistake, I would like to say it. But again, and Lou, you was there, Ghost was there. Because of the chaos on the field, it was hard to really see everything that was going on. But once again, I got to make that play. It was a short pass that they got for a short gain. It would have been a 5 yards, replay first down, but instead it's the second
I think they was looking for a free play on that one. I think that was the case. And
but
that's
it wouldn't have been a free play because the play would have ended. It's like all sides on the offense. You get what I'm saying? It's a dead ball foul for not announcing change and give up. But no here or there. Still got to make that call. Second down, Corey on 4 rush is sacked by Jalen. Corey says he got the ball off. What do you think, Ghost?
It looks like Jalen just gets him on this one. I think this is close enough that he gets awarded the sack. And I think it's because Corey held onto the ball just enough for Jalen to get there. Understand that Jalen's a fast player that's rushing on the field. So you got to get that ball off, especially when you don't have protection on that side. You have Ricky blocking the other person, so you got to get the ball, at least make a move, either get some extra time or just get the ball off. And he doesn't do it in time, and Jalen's able to make the play there.
Third down, Corey on 4 rush, throws deep to Slash in the back of the end zone. High, incomplete. Receivers are not looking, and that's going to be a loss. They missed that play. 4th down, Corey throws it up, incomplete. Turnover on downs. DG gets the ball back. Now, this is my problem, Lou. Alvaro, when we seen him get crazy in the beginning of the season, went ballistic because he was still complaining about the fact that the change of giver call was missed. He's not upset that Corey got sacked, which you saw. He held onto the ball. It was a good call. Then Corey goes deep to Slasher and misses the throw as the receivers are not turning around. Then Corey throws it up, and he's not mad at the offense for not scoring or moving the ball. He's mad about what happened on the first down. And this is my issue with these players and these excuses. You had an opportunity to score when you had the ball in the first half after you scored twice on your previous possessions and you got stopped. Now you have an opportunity again to score after Chuck and this DG offense just scored, and you're not able to move the ball, and you're more focused on a mistake that was done. I'm not trying to bail it out or make an excuse on the mistake. I agree, but human error is a part of the game, and it was only going to be a 5-yard penalty. It would have been a replay of down, but it's nothing you can do about it now. That has nothing to do with you moving the ball, which they don't. The defense is playing well, not perfect. both well, and on this possession and those 2 possessions in the game, the offense let them down. Your thoughts, Luke?
You got to remember that these dudes ain't thinking about what they did wrong. They're only going to focus on what the ref didn't, the call that he didn't make. You know what I'm saying? You might think about it after the game is over. You know, especially when you can be a hothead. You know what I'm saying? You may not be thinking rationally. So so what we didn't score? So what the quarterback overthrew him on 4th down? That doesn't matter. But 2-3 downs before that, you didn't make the call. We would have got a free play.
That's logic, yep.
You think when they're on the field. You know what I'm saying? That you're not thinking, especially in a situation like this, playoffs in a tight game, we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, because we're bad. We can't play and win on our own. We need the ref on our side.
No, we need the ref to make a call. That's how they're looking at it. You get what I'm saying? That's how they're looking at it. You know what it is that you give them that one excuse why we didn't win.
Yep, you just summed it up perfect. Because of the change of giver call was not made, and that caused Corey to go 2 sacks, 1 sack, and 2 incompletions. Okay. First down, Chuck on 4 rush is sacked by Ricky. I think Ricky should have been playing on that defense the whole day.
Yeah.
He was a couple times. Listen.
He needed to be there all the time. Not taken out at all. Big sack by Ricky there. Second down, Chuck with blocker from Chulo. Those are deep to Randy in the gap for a big play. Getting him at the 48-yard line. Randy killed this defense all day. They was not able to guard Randy. He killed them. And the thing about when DG went out and got Randy, it was not only to bring the defensive specialists on one defense player of the year. I don't think they was worried about that. I think he came in to upgrade that offense. He made the All-Star team. So that's exactly what he did.
Well, hold up. You forgot. He abused Sherm. He should have been locked up for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bad coverage there.
Sherm tried to jump. Randy didn't. I think Randy got on his tiptoes and just caught the ball to the side.
After getting the first down, Chuck with blocker from Slutty runs on the sideline for a nice gain, getting to the 1-yard line. They ran a cover play. Again, against the guy who plays on cover. Where did we see this before? Oh, yeah. In the first matchup in the regular season, that pretty much won the game.
Yeah, but my thing is, I didn't expect them to do a 20-yard run with Chuck. Like, I did not expect that at all. Usually this is a 5-yard run. This is maybe even 10 yards or whatever. Chuck took off and got like 20 yards on this play.
That's why they did it.
Yeah.
Because they knew
that they weren't going to be off guard. Yeah.
And he took, the thing is, it wasn't like Chuck sat back in the pocket and ran. He took off as soon as he got
right
the
away.
ball.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you caught them off guard. Dude is
completely
going man, you know, and that
65-year-old
man hustled up their field.
Yep. Well, second down, Chuck on 4 rushes, sacked by Hole. 3rd and goal, Chuck finds Randy open in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Slutty gets a 2-point conversion, 23-14. Now check this out, Ghost. Sherm argues and say the offense is setting picks. What happened on this play, Ghost?
First of all, the first mistake number 1, and what do we say? Listen, goal line plays, the worst offensive setup you're gonna, defensive setup you're gonna have is playing man.
Man on man.
When you play man on man in a goal line play, that's one of the easiest things for the receiver to be played against on defense. Because all they gotta do is make one quick move, and they're open. And you're gonna run it to your own guys. So it's not pick plays, it's crossing routes. I see them going, man, I'm doing crossing routes all day. All day. Because again, all it takes is for one quick move and that ball is coming out right to the receiver. So
Ghost, you are so on point because he got picked off by his own man.
Yes. And not only that, look, it's more than just that he got picked off by his own man. I'm gonna show it to you exactly what happened. He didn't get picked off by his own man. But if you look, BG is chucking Slutty as he runs on his route. What happens though? He chucks Slutty into Sherm. as Sherman's trying to chase Randy. So you push Slutty into Sherm. That's what happened. You thought that it was his own man, but that's what happened.
Wait till you see the beginning of the play. He ran into his own man, then BG threw him into Slutty.
Yeah.
But my thing is
double.
All of that. But my thing is all of that on top of the fact that they were playing man in the first place.
Yep.
And once again, they came to the officials and saying, y'all not making the calls. What? This is the problem with these players. They look for somebody to blame. I want to know who was, and I don't want to say fool. I don't want to disrespect somebody, but who was on that? I don't want to say that bus. I'm not going to disrespect the people on that bus. But who was the airhead, bonehead university, all that stuff combined to call a man-on-man on the #1 scoring offense in the league
in the red
at the 1 yard or the 2 yard line? I want to know who came up with that brilliant idea to say this is gonna work. What? And then don't come with the logic that if they're gonna box together and they cross, maybe we're gonna run into each other. No, because the minute they do that, I guess they think they're invincible, that they're not gonna get ran into. And then once it happens, they call it pick play. Me and Ghost, Lou also, have seen this hundreds of times, and the players always look for a flag. And I tell them, if you play man in the end zone, you will never get one official that will give you a flag for a pick play. Never. Never gonna happen.
And the crazy thing is that Randy, again, wide open.
Yeah.
Wide open because of the collision.
Anyway, 23-14. Next play, first down. Corey is blitzed by Hollywood. Throws a slash in the gap, off target, picked off by Trackstar. Ending the game, DG comes away with the win, 23-14.
And there's so much to say about this game. Listen, I don't want to focus on the fact that, they were focused on the refs more than their own play and everything like that. Their defense played pretty decent. They gave away a few plays in the end because they started falling apart, and it spills into your play when you're not focusing on the right things. That's one. Two, I was hearing on the grapevine that, and if you look at the game, there's a lot of receivers that are not running proper routes and helping Corey make his job easier. You make sure that the quarterback is comfortable by running the routes that he's comfortable with you running. There's a reason why Corey's one of the best quarterbacks out here. He knows what he's doing, I would think. So if he has routes for you to run, maybe you can give insight on something that you see on the field or whatever. But if he's telling you to see to run a route, there's a reason for it. Even if it's a decoy route that you don't like, it doesn't matter. It's to set up everybody else. A touchdown is a touchdown, whether it's in your hands or your teammates' hands. And every point matters. That's two. And three, a lot of guys do not read the field properly. If you're going to break off your route, turn around when you're hearing the count in the give up from the ref when the guy's about to rush in. For rush, somebody should be turning around in the gaps. If you see that there's nobody in the gap right there, you turn around, the ball should be coming to you. But because people are running, trying to make a big play, for rush, you should not be trying to extend a route. Anywhere else, you should be turning around. Unless the deep play is not told to you to run, turn around because the ball can be coming to you for a big play. But these dudes don't understand that, especially on games like this where every yard counts. And that's one of the reasons why the offense kind of struggled in this game. They made 2 scores, and that was it pretty much. So it's just frustrating to see that they weren't able to recover from the mistakes they made in the first half.
You know what's crazy is you held them to 8 points in the first half and gave up 15 in the second.
Yep.
And what's the average that they give up?
DG? UTB?
Untouchables.
They give up 21.8 points a game. So they were right around their average.
They're right around, yep. That they still would have lost, even if they gave their average.
Yep. Well, I'll give you this. One, I put this on Untouchables. I'm gonna tell you why. They went 2 for 2 in their first 2 possessions and then went 0 for 4 the next 4. Can't win like that. Can't. This is an offensive team. They don't have the defense to carry them and back them up. The defense played as much as they can, and they still gave up 23 points. That's just them. That's how they play. Offense let them down. Too many arguments, and this team is, let me explain something to you. Too many distractions.
Yep.
We heard from inside the team source, because there's always one person that gives you a little bit of jewels and a little bit of info that guys didn't want to run their route. So you brought a guy who's not a part of the team, Corey, to this team. You drafted him, and you went into the playoffs, a guy who's up there for MVP, guy's up there for quarterback of the year, and you tell him, I'm not running these routes. How does that spill out? What happens after that? It's going to leak into issues. And then, again, their defense. You held Chuck 1 for 3 in the first half and then let him go 2 for 2 in the second. This is not going to work. So my question is, who's leader? Is it Avro? Is it Adi? Who is it? I need to know, because whoever's the leader, the team must follow him. A lot of guys have been frustrated with Avro this season. They are frustrated with his bringing attention to himself, him negatively bringing attention to the team. And at the end of the game, he was frustrated with the officiating. I don't see where. I don't. We seen 1 or 2, but we seen the flags that should have been thrown against them.
The officials
At the end of the day,
game.
At the end of the day, they didn't make enough plays to win the game. At the end of the day, they played Chuck twice this season. And the 2 times that they played Chuck has scored 41 points on them in 2 games. Not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So that is the issue. And if Alvaro wants to yell at someone, he should get in the mirror and yell at himself. And I'm gonna tell you why. This man was a defensive player on double championship caliber teams, and he won an MVP in the chip game. He makes his name on defense. UTB's defense was 9th in the league. UTB was 3 and 5. They were a wild card team. That's who you yell at. You yell at you. He's too intelligent and has forgotten more than guys know. And he looked like a crybaby this season. Anytime he leads his team, he looks like a crybaby. And it's teammates that says that. I'm saying that from teammates. Again, when I criticize, I'm not criticizing him personally. It's a great guy. You can see the love he get. He had a birthday that just passed. Wish him the best. We're talking about him as a player, and he's done that. And when he's quiet, the team is better. But what I always say goes, the minute the mind is under stress, it goes back to its natural habits. Somebody smoke, Lou, and they under pressure, they smoke cigarettes. If somebody eats and when they're trying to stop and they go under pressure, they eat. When Alvaro's under pressure, he starts to complain. We've seen Shannon do this in the past also.
Right.
And that takes away from your team. Now, I'm going to tell you why it's worse for this team. This is not like a UTF team that soaks up all that and they're going to still be them. This is a kind of laid back, smooth team, and that negative energy leaks over. Players in the offense saying that they're not running these plays leaks over. And you saw it in their play. They went 0 for 4 in their last 4 possessions. You can't win that playing against the number 1 offense in the league. Corey couldn't carry them as much as they needed him to, but he's carried them all season long and did not have the support of a defense with more talent than most of the teams in the league.
Yeah.
So that's all about leadership.
Well,
On the other side, DG didn't play perfect. They showed a little chinks in their armor. But for you to hold Corey 0 for 4 after him scoring his first 2 possessions, and for you go 2 for 2 in the second half after going 1 for 3 in the first, this team is scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you have Chuck, Pams, Hollywood, all on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna say this: as far as Untouchables, what they need for next year, offensively, they're good.
They didn't need nothing offensively. I agree.
They don't need. The thing is, yes, Alvaro complaining could bring that negative energy, but his complaining didn't bring the bad defense. Got me? You understand what I'm saying with that? You know what I'm saying?
He led the defense. He was the defensive captain.
Yeah,
on his watch.
The thing is, the problem is he may not. I know they have like a little farm system over there on 138th. He has to spring training, find you some good defenders. Because again, you got to remember what I've said before, that a lot of offensive players are defensive players who play offensive players who play defense. Mine is on offense. They're not good. A lot are not good defenders. So get those dudes off of defense. Go get you some defenders. And
I agree,
hopefully,
because Sherman's not a real good defender.
No, he's not. But you know,
Hove is good. But
yeah,
Hove is not a spring chicken anymore.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
So I agree with you. And listen, I'm not gonna kill the dude because I would have put together a very great team. And he drafted Corey, and people was like, "You're not gonna draft Slasher," and he took all that. That's why I know he's capable of leading, because he doesn't care what other people think about him based on his decisions. But that can also be a double-edged sword, because that means you don't care when you bring this negativity to the team also. Remember, the same person that didn't care if he drafted Corey because he did what's best for the team does not understand how he's hurting the team because he's not caring what the guys say. So I think in that aspect, Adi needs to take over and say, bro, you decided to join the league. You knew the team that's going to be here. You know how the officials are going to be here. So stop complaining. Because that's all he did this game.
But you know what? Now here's the, I'm sorry, Ghost. Here's the thing, real quick. Do you think that possibly if you, to me, Corey was the best pick at them picking fourth. But Slasher, who's known by those offensive players, would they have done the same thing if he calls a play? You know what I'm saying? Corey's new to the team. What are you gonna do? You gonna take him out if you don't run your route? On YMM, he can do that. You know what I'm saying? So 24 touchdowns, offense wasn't the problem. Without a doubt, his numbers speak for themselves. But again, you gotta remember, from his perspective, what are you gonna do? You're gonna tell him, all right, you ain't run that route, get out? Not your team.
Yeah, but my thing is this. Listen, they have you there for a reason. And you give them you tell them something that they can't deny you. Either you let me control this offense, or I ain't playing. Or trade me. Yeah, exactly. My thing is this. Because if a quarterback does not have control of his offense, there's no way he's going to be 100% adequate, no matter who he has on the field. If he doesn't have control of what routes they're running, who's in the game at this point, if he's not able to take people out whenever he chooses to, something is wrong and it's not going to work. Because yes, look, hold on. Just give me a second real quick. Y'all said that offense wasn't a problem this season, right? Looking at the paper, they only scored 14 points this game, and that was all in the first half. Correct. Offense was a problem this game. It was. This game. And what game did they get bumped? This game. So none of the other stuff matters. This game matters. And this is when they chose to play some of their worst offense. So my thing is this. Am I blaming Corey for some of this? Somewhat, yes. Because you have to take charge and say, I need this guy out. He ain't listening to me. He don't want to do this route. He's out of here. Bring somebody else in. You know? He has to take charge on that. Because this, as a UFL team, this is his team. YMM ain't here. So this is his team. For the next 2 seasons, this is his team. So he has to take control. That's one. 2, these receivers, if they're not listening to the quarterback, what's the point of having them in there? You know, that's my thing. They got to figure that out, because if they're there telling the quarterback, I ain't running this route, then what are you there for? What are you there for? They should not be ending a game only scoring 2 touchdowns in the first half and getting shut out in the second. Yes, the defense gave up a few touchdowns, but if the offense ain't putting nothing up in the second half, what's bound to happen? This outcome. So yes, the offense does get some blame for why they lost this game. I'm sorry. I got to say it.
I'm not going to say, oh my God, let's put up the bat signal because the offense did not play on the same page.
No, I'm not
game.
saying things need
My
to change.
issue
I'm not
again
saying
was
anything about staff.
the defense once again showed that they were not reliable. And they have the talent to do it because they held Chuck 1 of 3 in the first half. But they went back to being inconsistent and gave up 2 scores on 2 possessions in the second half, allowing Chuck to come up with a 20-yard run.
And I'm going to make one.
Playing man in the end zone and then screaming for a pick. They went back to being an inconsistent defense.
You're right.
That's what cost them the game.
Look.
Corey and them did not have it. Yes,
but I'm gonna tell
I give you that. You can't say, well, because this is the game they did it. This is the game they lost. It's a problem. It's not a problem. The problem was the defense was unreliable, and they needed Corey to score on that 3rd possession because eventually the defense was going to go back to be who they are. They were the 2nd worst defense in the league. You think that all changed because we're in the playoffs? No, they don't know how to play defense. They let Chuck get a 20-yard run. They had Sherm on Slutty and on Randy. They play man in the end zone. They do not know how to play defense. And in the second half, DG adjusted, and they showed you, you know, in the song with the real Slim Shady, please stand up.
Mm-hmm.
With the real Untouchables defense, please stand up, and they just jumped up. We're here.
Look. But my thing is, all of that is fine, but that still emphasizes my point. Look at on the first drive in the first half, in the second half, DG scores, right? Okay, that's on the defense. If you look at this play, you look at this whole drive by this UTB team. It started with a cursing flag on Hove in the start of the play, on the start of the drive, on the throw-off. So you're already 15 yards back. Now you have to play catch-up. Then 2 plays later, one of your best receivers in Juju gets ejected.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Was this the first time Juju got ejected? No. Did Hope get a curse early in the season? Yes. They did it in the regular season.
But they did it
I just said, would the real defense please stand up?
But this was on offense. But look, this was on offense. Both cursing flags were on offense.
This season, Ghost. This is not a first-time event.
But that's why I'm saying, I'm not saying that they have to go to a bullpen, pick up offensive players, their offense is inefficient. I'm not saying that. My thing is, the discipline on this team is lacking.
Correct.
That's
that we agree.
My thing is, I think that more so than anything else is the issue.
I agree.
On defense as well as offense. Because do I believe, yes, Lou made a point. They have offensive players that play defense. But are they adequate enough to make stops? They showed it in this game in the first half at least. So they can play. They somewhat can make things happen. Now, do I rely on them 100%? No. But they can make plays when it counts if they focus on that. But does the discipline come in and throw everything under out of the whack? Yes. And I think that was the issue in this game. And I think that's why they killed themselves in this very drive where they had opportunity to come back in this game.
I'm going to say one more thing and then I'll let Lou jump in and then we'll wrap it up. The discipline can be covered up by Corey on the offense. That's why Corey threw 24 touchdowns this season. He can protect your ability not to be disciplined on the offense. He can figure it out. You can't do that on the defense, especially on this defense. They are undisciplined uncommitted, unorganized defense. That is all they are. And when your defensive captain is playing out of control and cannot come up with an idea of how to make stops, then that's the problem. And that's the issue I have with Alvaro. He puts this defense together. It's on his watch. And they gave up 21.8 points a game. Their first matchup with Chuck, he put up 29 points. Their second matchup with Chuck, he put up 23 points. This defense will continuously be this team's Achilles heel. And either they get it together, because Alvaro did a great job of recruiting. Either they gave it together and he learns, I have to be better for the team because not only am I representing myself, I'm representing the brand, then he's not going to be on this defense anymore. Your thoughts, Lou?
Well, one thing, maturity is a factor where dudes got to be a little bit more mature. Juju, you know why Juju cursed? Because he got the ball. He said, oh, shite, I got the ball. What? Say that in your head, bruh.
Word.
That's one of those, say it with your inside voice.
Yep.
Alvaro, a year older, hopefully he gets more mature. And like you said, he is the main guy on the defense. He has to show more maturity because he doesn't do that on Carver.
No.
You know? So some things that he might have to ponder. Look, I think Corey had fun for the most part this season. 24 touchdowns would make me happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're in a good spot offensively. Let's see what they can do with the defense.
All right, we're going to wrap this one up. 23-14 with DG coming away with the win, moving on to the next round. We're going to see how. We'll be right back.